and the MSC Missionary Sisters and some other congregations. One of the things to know about Father Chevalier was he was a very determined man. He was not a big man, he was short. They say he always had a lot of hair. He probably wasn't greatly over intelligent, of academic ability, but he was a man of deep and great conviction, and a man that had a vision and a mission, and a great devotion to the heart of Jesus. And these are the things that allowed him to achieve what he did achieve. One of his great devotions was to Our Lady, and he got approval for using the term Our Lady of the Sacred Heart. And whenever he needed something, when he needed something done, when he was trying to do a project and had no money, he would, before the 8th of December, the Feast of Our Lady, have a novena to end on the 8th of December, with great faith that Our Lady would provide. And time after time that happened. In building up his centre at Isidon and the church, lacking money, he had a novena, and at the end of it, someone who was a rich person had heard about it and said, here's the money. And so the story went on. He had this vision of mission, and he had a man in Rome called Father Jouet. And he said to Father Jouet to get the Pope at the time to offer them a mission. So the Pope offered to us the mission of the Pacific and New Zealand. And when the letter came back with this offer, he took it to his council, and there were only at that time about 6 men in the whole congregation. And they all said, no, we cannot take on something so big as this. We have nobody. We're very, very small. So they rejected it. So Father Chevalier wrote back to Father Jouet and said, ask the Holy Father to offer us another mission, but make sure he dates the letter the 8th of December. And so when the letter came back offering the mission of Melanesia and Micronesia, it was dated the 8th of December, he was able to go to his council and say, it's dated the 8th of December. Our Lady wants this. How can we refuse? And so it went through, and so the mission began. And as I said in our last talk, in 1883, they started the mission in Rabaul on New Britain, and they started 2 years later at Yule Island on the Papuan side of what is now Papua New Guinea. And there's a lot of stories in that, many stories, and we have them in our book, The Mustard Seed, written by George Delbos. It's a history of the 100 years of the mission of the French, from a French mission to a Papuan church, published in 1984 and now reprinted. And if you want it, there's many stories. It's a great book, and you can read many interesting stories there. If you go on our website, www.mscmission, etc., you will find it there, and you can order a copy. So there's many stories in that book. So he sent people on mission, and it's a great story of how that mission began and how it went along. And that's where I spent 40 years of my life, in Papua New Guinea, on that mission. Now, as from that beginning of sending out the mission, what was happening in Europe was the society, the congregation was spreading out to other countries. And in a very short time afterwards, there was a foundation in Germany, in the Netherlands, in Italy, and even as far as the USA and Canada, and in about 1900 here in Australia. Because here in Australia also in 1883, 4, 5, MSCs came here to Sydney as a base. They needed a base to serve the Papuan mission, and so then we got the parish of Botany and the parish of Randwick, and so much history in that too. But it seemed to be what God wanted, what Jesus wanted, and it was growing and it was becoming stronger. Then over the years from there, missionaries went out from all of those new provinces, including from Australia, and the mission spread to many other countries. And we are now an international order of brothers and priests, numbering 1900 and working in over 55 countries on 6 continents. So what Father Chevalier has started has grown enormously, because he followed the vision of what he believed, what God wanted. And the sister congregations, as I've said, Daughters of Our Lady of Sacred Heart, MSC sisters, have grown in a similar way and are present in all or most of the countries where the MSCs are. And as it went along too, we decided to take Indigenous native men and women into our congregations, and many of those places are now independent provinces, and also sending out missionaries to other parts of the world, so in their turn becoming missionary. So it's a great story, and it's still growing and it's still going on. And also in Papua New Guinea, 2 of our bishops founded congregations. Bishop de Beaumenu on Yule Island founded the Handmaids of the Lord, known as the AD Sisters, and Bishop Coupe in Rabaul founded the FMI Sisters, the Daughters of Mary Immaculate, and they are both going strong. So it's an ongoing and very strong story, and this is our mission. This is part of our mission. This is how the mission goes ahead. If it is something that God wants, it will succeed and it will grow, and it will continue to grow. When we stop doing what God wants, then it will die. At the moment, it doesn't look like dying. So we have great hope that the mission will go ahead. And I'll see you again tomorrow.